And when you look around it here,
Oh, it's lovely.
Where do we start? Yeah.
It's like most boxes, lovely and warm.
Yeah, I'll just make fire. So just put it on, just put it on. Just a bit more. Yeah.
Right.
Oh. Right, I bought the signal box on the 30th of November 1975, and we fetched it with a lorry, big flatbed lorry, and a Coles crane which we hired for the job, and we cut it round the bottom, took all the panelling off round the bottom, and it was left on 6 legs. We then put 2 chains over the roof of the signal box, right round it, and then very carefully we started taking the middle legs out and the 4 side legs. At that point, the Coles crane held it, and it held it well. The big gamble was, would the whole lot swing slowly, very slowly onto the level crossing and down onto the flatbed lorry. And that's, to everybody's relief, the chief of the S&T at that point said, if this falls on the East Coast Main Line, we'll all be in big trouble. And it didn't. It landed perfectly, well, it was put perfectly on the lorry.
Was it a closed line day, or was the line still open?
Now that's another story. Yes, it was a closed line day, but they were working on 4 places between Retford and Doncaster. But they still sent me a bill for 85 quid for closing line. But you don't argue about things like that when you've got something like that, you know. And my old dad gave me a cheque for that, so
So what would it be, about 4 or 5 tons?
Yeah, they said it was a good 5 tons, if not more. Yeah. But the big gamble is, would it lift and not collapse? And nobody knew that for sure.
Yeah.
But things were built in 1894, 95 by the Great Northern Railway, of course. Yeah. And I still find little markings on things that's got that initial on. And the wood they used must have been brilliant, because if you drill a hole to put a cable through, you get this lovely scenty smell of real wood. Yeah.
So getting it into the house was another story?
Yes, I saw the local farmer. At that time we'd got fields at the back of the house. The local farmer was one of my customers, and I asked him if we could come over his back field with a big lorry and Coles crane, and he said, yes, yeah, you'll be all right, Keith, so long as you put my fences back when you've finished. And it was a very boggy field, and we were a bit windy about getting the Coles crane stuck in the mud, but it worked, and we did it. And then we lowered it back onto the brickwork, which a friend of mine who was a bricker, we'd been and measured the base of Botany Bay, and then we'd got to fit it dead square onto and the crane had got to bring it down bang on, and it did do, it fitted perfectly. And then we dug a big hole out here for the lever frame, and that was put back very carefully.
Yeah.
And my colleague, mate, yeah.
How easy was it getting the frame apart, or?
Pardon?
How easy was it getting the frame apart, or did the frame lift with the box as well?
No, the frame was out.
It was already out?
We took it out a week before, yes, we frightened ourselves to death with that. Mick was taking the frame out, we'd left that door open, and the Deltic come down from Doncaster, and it must have been the air draft that found its way up the frame, because we've got the frame practically out. It banged that door. It created a wind tunnel, and it frightened us to death. And basically, because we got a full train going past about, and it had only been 2 yards away.
Yeah, just outside. Yeah.
Yeah, that scared us. Yeah, but all it was, door banged. But to take it all out and put it back, obviously, you've got to be a qualified person to know what you're doing with that. Yeah. But most of the things I've done is electrical, really. But it's my own little world. That circuit mod, it gives that little bang as it goes over.
Yeah.
Because our regional ones, you don't hear them go. You don't hear the little arrow move over. Even special notice books. It's interesting reading what problems they had. You know.
A lot of boxes kept the books, they never handed them in.
Yeah. There's me not. I just use it. I just use it for date reference. In old days, we used to run trains seriously.
Yeah.
Mates who were signalmen would come and do this and do that. And that was a interesting one. That was issued by Ron Fowler, S&T chief at Retford. He gave me a little certificate one night to say all the signals were in working order. Yeah, that's a long time ago. That was twice as high.
So this is the next project.
Yes, it's an added.
Before and after rubbish. We're smiling now.
So these are the replacement.
These are the replacements. 8 foot long.
Well, exactly. Yeah,
8 foot long. And these are for the side pieces where the main signal post will sit between the two.
Yes.
And that's made of the very, very best wood we could get, which is mahogany, which is very heavy, very strong, and a million times better than what's on.
The what's on, yeah. Well, at least it lasts. So you've had to. You're gonna have to get scaffolding in, take it all
I
apart.
had scaffold a lad come last week. We didn't try doing it without.
Yeah.
So, and a block and tattle at the top.
Take it away.
The idea is when we put that up, we run it up the side of the tower.
Yeah.
And it weight was that great, it pulled the tower. It started pulling the tower over. So what we did then, we had to take it up the centre of the tower with the block and tattle. And that's how we're going to do it this time.
Yeah.
We're going to put both sides, block and tattle at the top, and bring the whole piece vertical down to the ground.
To do on the ground.
Yes, and once it's down on the ground, you can work on it accordingly. You can see how much is rotted.
Yeah.
You can paint everything up. Say,
How long did it take you to put it up originally?
he did it in 2 or 3 weeks, a month.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, but it was a gamble on whether we could get that piece back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say it's half in the ground and half out the ground now.
Yeah, oh, that piece. Now, that is the key bit, because we got a lot of damp land down here. And when you put the spirit level on, the whole lot, I just moved a thou. But nothing like what the doll arm
Yes.
on the top would have gone like, you see. Yeah. So,
It'll be interesting to see it when it's done.
well, yeah, it'll let you know. Well, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see.
So this signal box is a replica made by this gentleman here.
It did, yeah.
How long did it take you to make?
I think it took us about 6 weeks, probably, on and off.
6 weeks altogether.
Yeah.
Based on Botany Bay itself, measured off Botany Bay.
Yeah, Botany Bay, yeah. Original barge boards from the signal box.
Yeah, works up sidings.
Yeah.
Looks up sidings.
Yeah.
There's a different roof angle and you had to cut it.
That's right, yeah, we had to make it fit. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Good job.
It's a work of art on the quiet. Have you made any more since, or is that the only one?
No, it all started. These windows were made for a job, and we gambled on it at work. We did all this house up in Woodset, up Sausage Hill, posh place. And we said, we'll be having that done next. So while we were making other windows, we made them. We never had it done. So I made that to fit these windows.
Though, weren't they? Size-wise.
Absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Made that to fit windows.
The old diagrams.
Okay, good one, isn't it?
That's a lovely structure.
This is the problem. Keeping damp down this time of year is not easy. You can't afford to heat it up.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
Fine.
Give me a business card in it. That is already completed. That's on priority list as well.
Oh dear.
You know, when we peg up in garage, it pegs up. That's track circuit boards for Workshop East. And then that's a block shelf for working down to Botany Bay.
So that was the original block shelf from Workshop East?
Yes, it was, yes. No, that one, sorry, it was from Mountain Wood because we had to cut it to make it fit where we wanted it to fit. Yeah. And, that's one that Gordon made.
That block shelf, yeah.
That block shelf, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it did. Yeah.
And it's
Trying to make it look original.
It does look lovely, doesn't it?
yeah, it is a beauty, that, yeah.
How many different angles in the wood? Quite a few pieces.
Yeah, well, I made it in that way.
That long ago.
You enjoyed staining it, didn't you, Gordon?
I actually rubbed the fire ash in it with
Did
some
you?
potbelly stone just to get that grey look.
That gravel,
clever.
like you saw on that other one
Yeah.
down there, in that same format, it's
Yeah.
been stood there ever since.
Yeah.
And that came, the indicator board underneath came from Mountain Wood Signalbox, and to my amazement is it got different company headings right through it, and I was very careful how I cleaned that up in general terms. That was used down to the mountain collar.
And you were saying that when you cleaned it up a bit, you got the Manchester, Sheffield and Lincolnshire just coming out in the
Yes,
back.
underneath that, yeah,
You
that's
can
right.
just-
Underneath
if you
the
look-
GCR, there's a Manchester, Sheffield and Lincolnshire writing,
Just see it.
sign written on it. Now I had to be very careful I didn't spoil it, yes, yeah.
Where was Checker House and Dinnington?
Checker House is between Worksop and Retford. It's, if you went from Worksop, you go to Mountain Wood, and then you'd signal through to Checker House. What's the old A1? The A1
Yeah.
bridge goes over now. What was the level crossing at Checker House? And it went right through then to Retford, Rushy Sidings, that way, and then Retford South.
You managed to save Retford North and Retford South boards as well?
Yes, that was. We used to sit on the platform at Retford, you know, and watch all the main liners, and when the bells rung in Retford South, when you were sat on the wall, you knew you got a flyer coming one way or the other, and that was quite a complex box to work, because when the opera trains came, it was such a busy line crossing directly to the power stations, and in actual fact, that's how it came about. They made the dive under at Retford, and that's when the signal box got finished totally. Yeah. That's roughly 1965, 66 when that dive under was made, and it changed Retford totally. Retford North stayed a lot longer. That stayed right through till they upgraded up the East Coast Main Line in the 1970s, 75, 76, when we got our signal box.
Yes.
Retford North came out then, yeah.
So that have all gone under, was it Peterborough Power Box? I think.
Yeah,
Peterborough
it's all
Power
power
Box,
box, yeah, it's all power box then, yeah. I'm afraid it is. Yeah, and there's 36E Retford shed plate. That's one of my rarest items.
Yeah.
And that's, well, and then there's a 38, I'm not sure what 38 is, what is Stratford?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, it could have been Stratford, yeah.
So is that Retford Station there I'm looking at?
Now there's exactly what we've just been talking about, that's Retford South, that's the name board.
That's the name, but they were looking.
And that's how this person who took that would be stood at the end of platform 2, looking towards London. And they're the two pegs we used to get great excitement when you saw that double peg pulled off. You didn't know what you were going to get, and it would come flying through. Yeah, and the line to Gainsborough went that way.
Oh, so
And
is
the
that,
main
that's
line
Gainsborough Lee Road, I
across
thought.
that second coach is on the Diamond Crossing format, yeah.
Right.
And there's the ones that replaced it, of course.